Hey guys, welcome back to Disco Elysium. Where exactly were we? I know we're kind of finishing stuff off in kind of terms of side questy type things. I know it's difficult to tell what's a side quest and what isn't here. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to a meeting to get his gun back, I believe, at about 10 o'clock. Got two thoughts on the way. And have we opened up a... Man, there's so many thoughts in this. I wonder what happens if you never level up, but only do thoughts. Okay, so... Fish market at 10 o'clock. I'm guessing that's in the town nearby. Like the it must be because there's the dock and all that kind of stuff. We know where we're going for that. We got into that building. I'm pretty sure that's where she is. Check island for bullet traces. How do we get on the island? That's what I want to know. It's really doing my head in, is that? But there's not that many tasks left. And if we go to... Where is it? Where do we see the checks? Oh yeah, on the map. Still, I don't know how we do that. Abandoned lorry one, sleeping dock worker. Where on earth is that? I don't think we can do that because I don't know what checks we can do at the Hanged Man. Map wall, that didn't seem to give us anything. Pile of clothes, is that just like stealing or getting some clothes cheap or something? Trash container, physical instrument, legendary. Measure head we don't want to do. Church doors, we can't really interact with the church doors anymore. Heroic suggestion and sooner Half-Life formidable. I don't know what that is. Let's just, seeing as though here, let's go back and see if we can do that. Seem to remember that we spoke to her and couldn't find the option.
Yes, what is it?
Have you seen the crab man? No. But you know he's around? Yes. Sounds like you're not worried about him at all. No, you're right, I'm not. Okay. Seen anyone suspicious? Say, a woman named Ruby? No. Why are there so many machines in this place? Hey, about that 2mm hole again. This is maybe it's just something we'll never know. Man. The idea of a club that plays the same loop for eternity is like my idea of hell. Need some variety, man. Need some changes in the music. How do we get to the island? Does it let us interact with this yet? Does it come later in the game? don't have an option. Island, island, island. Take us to the island. Okay. That was an interesting sound. No, I don't think this is anything that is going to help us. Main thing is we get his gun back at this point in time. So we need 25 minutes to go by. Maybe if we have a look at the ledger again. So we'll get close to where the where I think this is going to be. I'm so curious about the G-Dang Island though. Hey Kim, would you say now's a good time to check the ledger? I thought so. Let's do it. Items. Interact. Ooh. In fact, do we have anything else that we can interact with? Do we get anything else from the apricot chewing gum wrapper? Because it was mentioned in some dialogue a while ago. Smell of apricots. Feel compelled. Yeah, these are the same dialogue options. Cinema's not a fruit. I'll hang on to it. Okay. Lovely. Who are you? Gone. Okay. Okay, let's get the ledger out again, wherever it is. Huh. Or is it under... because we can use it as a tool now as well, can't we? Okay. We've still got a lot of stuff in here. So it's inspect the toilet paper. It's just toilet paper. Stick it to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Take it off. Gained 5 XP. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila. The ledger now looks marginally better. Is that a ledger joke? Marginally. Inspect the clip. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the paper together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, had been attached to the clip. Run your fingers across the aluminium. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. Hey Lieutenant, what's this? What? He's lost in his own notes. Takes a moment for him to see it. That thing? It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. Interesting, what kind of information? Depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue. Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How can I read it? Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Like, for example, all RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too. This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on. Ah, okay. We can do that then. Okay, he returns to his neatly kept notes. While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. Should we do that again? Okay. Your hand shakes, you're flushed with adrenaline. Browse the yellow papers. In the back you see thin translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out according to type of form. What types of forms are there? 3. Topmost are misconduct fines, middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. Misconduct fine. Monetary penalisation ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague. Station call. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in a print so small it could be considered downright cute. Field autopsy. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in colour. You see the parameters of a deceased human form, waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Nice. So, yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copy of paper. Where's the case files again? Arson, petty thefts, parcel abuse, handwritten logs of dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revocol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter. It's 2 cases a week, a good caseload, Lieutenant. Huh? He raises his nose from his notes. 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. It appears to have been my load. I'm not sure if I completed them though. 2, he raises both eyebrows. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you're making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I burned out, alright. That's okay, he nods, then turns back to his own case files. We all do, sooner or later. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. That's it? The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even. Okay, so we've done examining that. 10 minutes. Who can we speak to around here for 10 minutes? I wonder if she's got anything new to say now. The old woman sits in a chair, continuing with the chores. As she does so, she quietly hums to herself. Buzz of electric lights blends together with the slow rumble of ocean waves at night. Yeah, it's late for me as well. You're still up? Yes. I can't really sleep anymore. Only a few hours a night. It happens when you grow older. She sloshes the water in the bucket around for a bit. My suggestion is don't grow any older than you already are. That's old enough. She smiles. What's troubling your mind? that song that you're humming? A lullaby my mother used to sing. I sang it to my kids too. It's an old Samaran children's song. Sounds nice. Yes, she nods, it does. It's further down the coast. Not much, she replies and wipes her forehead. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time even. Why is it abandoned? Some things just don't fly, officer. She smiles a gap-toothed smile and smells the air. Look around, who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nice of them. So they don't hold services there anymore. The Ecclesiastes. No, they've tried, but other things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open, she frowns. It's a pity, it used to be such a nice church. What else is on down coast? Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty. Which is it then, apartments or electrical plant? I don't know exactly, a pre-war place. It used to be something, she shrugs. Before the war, I wasn't here then. You know, was born in Samara. Anything else of note? Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed. Ah, that's the fish market. Nice, thank you. Who'd want to come to a fish market here? No one, that's why it's closed. After a long pause she adds, it was once a bustling place, back when I was young and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else. That's it? It's got to be more along the coast. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans. If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think. Sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. Nothing is impossible, surely. She drops a bar of soap into the bucket with a splash. Now you know everything there is to know about this coast. I've had a few more questions about Ruby. I heard she was a heavy drinker with anger issues. You ever witnessed that kind of behaviour? Nothing of the sort, she shakes her head. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way, but I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset. She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. She said it was part of the communal life, but I never saw her lose control of herself the way some people do. Okay. Well, that's informative, thank you. Is she still here?
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down, bastards.
So if Kim's not here, we can ask her out. I don't think we've got high suggestion skill anyway.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
We've asked you about everything. Yeah, I saw it. 58. I wonder if time actually goes on just when you're moving about, or it's just when there's actions. Because 2 minutes, I mean, come on.
Tequila sunset.
Why do you keep losing all your stuff? Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you'd think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit. Or lycra, should I say. I used to own my own reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment and an even nicer piece of... some of these phrases are difficult for me to say. It just sounds weird coming from me. But somehow it all got away from me. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks. Lost jacket sounds like a mystery you could look into. It's 10 o'clock, see you later. Old fish market, eh? I think we should save. Are we going to get his gun back? Or is this going to be a wild goose chase? Hello there.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Wow. Okay, this is new. The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands right now!
Scavenged battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Ooh, Kim. You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control. It's just a standard flashlight, ma'am. Calm down.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer under duress! Officer under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her
I
forehead.
am the police! Don't move! Don't move! Hands on your head! Suspect is armed and dangerous!
I'm not moving.
Suspect is on the loose! Suspect at large! Officer administers street justice at her own peril! That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above what was actually required. Suspect is under control. Suspect is under control.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
What are our options going to be? Situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do. Please identify yourself, ma'am. It's the goddamn police, shitbag, she yells into the microphone. Hug the pavement, you're under arrest. As she waves her hand, you notice a familiar looking ampoules and packets sticking out the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs? You can solve this peacefully, please lower the weapon. Officer in need of assistance, her eyes dart between you and Kim. Suspect at large, get on the ground. It's just talk, alright? Disturbance reported, authorised deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Her head snaps at you. Big red key, big red key. Big red key, that's the code for the battering ram. Cop talk, you know this. You're not the police, we're the police. Back up, she lowers the megaphone halfway, but immediately raises it again and screams, back up, status unconfirmed. Yeah, I think we got police language. Lieutenant Double Euphrasia Harrier Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the 57th. No, the crazed woman mumbles, shaking her head. No. I thought Mr. Morant, Gareth. Suddenly he raises the megaphone and screams. Aggravated assault, man down, officers in pursuit. There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here. What's the situation? The lieutenant hesitates, addressing the woman officer. Law enforcement compromised, she screams in the megaphone. Red and blue lights illuminate, the spit flying everywhere. Impersonating a police officer. Does she not believe you two are actually police officers? Wait, what if she's right and actually I'm an imposter? We really are cops. Look, white rectangles. Look, my badge. Yeah, the badge. License and registration. She repeatedly bashes the megaphone against her head, then screams in the bloody mouthpiece. License and registration. Come in dispatch. Sector azimuth. It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's losing it. One twitch and there will be blood. Still 42%. Are you on drugs? Confiscated contraband. The megaphone makes her voice almost painful and metallic. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised. Don't think she's on drugs, Lieutenant whispers. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here. I don't even know if we've got anything that can help hand-eye coordination. Yeah, it's... I don't like the 42%. We can't leave. Okay. There's nothing else we could do except that then. She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening. If you just move fast enough, if not the lieutenant's got her on his sights. No, I know myself. I know I'm going to fail. Gun, I'm coming. Oh, no gun is worth this risk. I think we have to do that. I think if we go for it, one of us gets shot. And I think, yeah. Confined quarters, assailant coming at me, split second decision, fire at will. So there's nothing in the gun, okay. In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half-squeezed trigger. God, your partner exhales loudly and uses his offhand to wipe his forehead. I almost blew her head off. What is this? The old woman looks at the treacherous weapon. This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. The gun lands on the wooden planks and tears run down her scratched cheeks. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this? Grab the gun. Right now this might be your only chance. Pick up the gun. No one ever cares anymore. Her voice is growing fainter as she rocks back and forth slowly. Why would they cheat me like this? Great gears are grinding to a halt. The machine is powering down. She's all out of jolt. We got his gun back. But yeah, Kim's right. Poor woman. Lieutenant holsters his pistol. We need to figure out what to do with her now. Nobody's ever around, the old woman mumbles, staring blank at the boardwalk. Nobody ever comes to visit me. I'm very sorry this is how life turned out. You tried to kill me. What do you think is happening to her? Yeah, what do you think is happening to her, Kim? She's in a stupor, the lieutenant replies, inspecting the catatonic woman standing in the dark. I've seen this before, God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Understood. I've had disturbances similar to this before, many calls, but never this bad. I'm very sorry this is how life turned out for you. The scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there. Should we just arrest her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go talk to Titus. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling, but we have to hurry because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done. As you turn to leave, the faintest of voices comes from the woman. Please leave the radio on, she mutters. It seems like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence. Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more. It's one of those things at a police camp. There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them, do? No, don't take any narcotics. Pick up the RCM cap. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar looking lieutenant's cap from a mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Oh, is that yours? I think so. The lieutenant nods. Is shaking her shoulder just being mean? Or is that going to lead to... No, yeah, just leave it be. We don't want to harass anybody. Poor woman. So do you think she was maybe an ex-cop? Who, something unfortunate's obviously happened. Maybe an ex-cop that turned to drugs, because I mean our character was blatantly a drug addict before we came on the scene and cleaned him up. But it's easy to do that when you're not in the cycle of it. That's the thing, it's people go on about, like, you know, drugs being a huge problem. And they are, but... What was that light? They are a huge problem, but they're not the cause of the problem, really. It's the habit that's the problem. Drugs in themselves are neither good nor bad. They just are, like a lot of things. But then, when it becomes a habit that you need to do to feel normal, and not necessarily drugs, just anything, then that's the problem. Because as soon as you stop and you don't feel like yourself, it causes a lot of problems. But anyway, I'm getting a bit deep here. Yo, Titus, got a job for you.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want?
There's an old catatonic lady in the old fish market on the other side of the bay. She needs help. The big man laughs, nearly spitting out his beer. What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now? You're local law enforcement, aren't you? The lieutenant looks Titus in the eye. Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction. Well, yeah, we'll send someone out. Who is it? Wait, it's the pigs, isn't it? Yup, her. He pushes up his cap. God, poor lady, don't worry, we'll handle this. I think she's got some family in Kuron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints. Hey, Eugene interjects. Wasn't Everart's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know. Finding something? Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. Titus gives him a beer salute and turns to you. She have something of yours, pig. She had my gun. You've come with me. The big man slams his beer onto the table. Your gun. She had your fucking gun. Sure did, boss. The rat man's face is twisted with a smile. Heard him loud and clear. The pig's lost his gun to the pigs. The big man stares at you, still stunned, too stumped to even drink his beer. Well, he says after a moment. At least I can see you got it back. If you have any questions, he waves in circles, still searching for words. What's her name? What's her real name? He takes off his cap and scratches his head. Auntie LePlante, we always called her. There's something LePlante. Marianne Amigo, he says, pouring himself another drink. Marianne Amigo LePlante. Q Piggy stands. What the are you playing at, huh? Easy, Al, the man says soothingly. Don't let him get to you. Have one for Auntie LePlante. Huh. I didn't think I did anything wrong there. Don't disrespect Miss LePlante, Copper. The big man finishes off a can. She's good people. We all get a little crazy sometimes. How did she get like this? Get wanting to be a cop, you mean? Well, he furrows his brow in thought. Shit, I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig? Oh, conclude, the tattooed man shouts. It's gotta be crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? I can't but feel partially responsible for the unhealthy culture that poor woman latched onto. I'm sorry. The tattooed mask sinks into a seat, unsure how to respond. Yeah, you should be. Big man shrugs. Whatever, cop, don't worry about it. We'll take care of our own. Who was she? Was, like before, just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never came to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. He swirls his beer. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still. Those kids. That must have been ages ago. She was better then. Where'd you get all that cop gear? Dunno, Titus said, shrugging. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach. Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it. Thanks for helping out with this one, Titus. No problemo, cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys? Sure enough, Eugene raises his glass in toast. We're the real heroes on these streets. I'm wondering, I know this kind of sounds like a threat. Let me just say it before we say it. Cleaning out the rooms. So what do we get from this? +1 suggestion, that's good. +1 Inland Empire, and +1 Rhetoric. So what if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away, for you to slowly open one box at a time, so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it, only the flowers in the windowsill, only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows, leave only their still lives, the blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did, she'll be coming soon. That is all. Huh. Man, it's also freaking esoteric. So yeah, we can go read the thing on the clipboard with with Kim's lights. And then I think we go to bed. And I think then we continue this. We might continue the story then. Go to where I went on the previous episode. +1 suggestion. We better. Are we better? I mean, we get +2 for not wearing it, but then we do get +1 physical. -2 authority. Yeah, okay, we get rid of the t-shirt. Could stay there. Where's that necklacey thingy? Yeah, that's a good one to be wearing. Is that our patrol clerk? Let's take that hat off. RCM Lieutenant's cap. Yeah, nice one. +1 authority. I don't like not wearing a shirt, but we do get a bonus for doing so, so whatevs. Trevs. +1 composure, -1 save the frail. Didn't we have some shoes that did better than that? +1 empathy. Yeah, we'll pop them on. Okay, I think we're pretty well kitted out here. We've got 2 skill points. Maybe hand-eye coordination or reaction speed. I think we're always getting caught out with these ones. They're always in really important situations. Suggestion. Oh man, it's difficult. I'm gonna put 1 in each of those. Cool. Any more level ups now? I'm just gonna do into stats, I think. We've got a lot of thoughts which are good, but the thing is, with the thoughts, I don't know what bonuses we're gonna get before we get them. So I want to start trying to. So the thoughts technically, I would say, are technically better because you get bigger bonuses for them. But the without knowing the bonuses that you get him, sometimes purple. You say, was that? Could it be the Coldumama Dacura? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear. Is there a ringing? There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like something tickles your ear. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. Honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole lot. The distant hum of the industrial harbour, the traffic, but admittedly there is a high-pitched noise somewhere there too. But then, isn't there always? Wait, Kim, do you hear a high-pitched noise? No, I don't hear the Coldum. Neither do you. Of course he doesn't, he's deaf. Listen closely first. There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species. Yeah, but how are you going to catch it? Keep listening. It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you. Keep still, it might perch on your shoulder. Hold very still and hope the bird comes to perch on your shoulder. Or move your head towards the sound. Yeah, let's hold very still. Oh no, the sound is moving away. Somewhere over there, go after it. No, it's too late, it's gone. There's no ringing anymore, just the sound of the streets. No, come back. thought gained. Keep your ears peeled then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again. Oh, now I want to do that. Man, it's a 7-hour one as well. Ugh. Okay, let's go to the car to be able to do the... Kim, how do I turn on the headlights? He turns the preheater on, waits, takes out his keys and says, alright, ready, I turn, you press start, it's next to the preheater. As the dashboard lights up with an orange glow. Rounds per minute gauges jump and the engine of the Cooper Kanema comes to life with a whining growl. Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. That sound, you feel the wind in your hair as if you're already driving, but where? Yes, where? Down a narrow street lined with shabby wooden houses, the 8/81 motor tract coiling like a serpent high above. Children play under the viaduct, eyes turned to watch as you pass. What's ahead? The Valley of Dogs, and before it a familiar dome, like a ladybug without the colours. The building has a designated parking place for your carriage. This is Precinct 41, as close as you have to home now, it's far away. Press the button labelled headlights. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle. There you go, I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now. Okay, cool. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid in the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you. There she is, Revocol West. There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. Look at the shimmering street grid. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revocol are all recognisable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights. Wait, look around you. You catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle. In the distance, sounds. Two men engaged in a drunken argument, followed by the closing of some distant window. In the middle of a broken plaza, illuminated in a cone of light, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines. Martinez at night, he smells the air and says, "Where are we on this?" Point to the halogen map. Let me see. He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it. Right here, he says, his fingers near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. Seems nice. No, it does not, the lieutenant says with optimism. Look at the perforations. There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows. Tally up the different rows. First row is 18 dots. Not bad. Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. What about the next one? Next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border and then some. Count them individually. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice large number, a wave of pride washes over you, though you can't say why precisely. What about this last row? The last row has 3 perforations. As you look at them, you feel your index finger reflexively contract 3 times. Seems like something I've done before, and something you'll do again before this is all over. Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean? Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They're your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look. Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do, it's meant. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years, okay. Not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? Wait, 18 years I've done this? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. Oh, one sec. God, just leg gone dead, as it tends to do about halfway through recording one of these. So it says, I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those blissful years of your youth? Halls and lies of the end to come. There are 9,855 days remaining. Probably some boring office job. I feel like I was just apologising all the time. Do you really think I have any idea? Fair point, let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good, it means finished. You've got, let's see. Wow, more than 200. 216 to be exact. Is that a lot? It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. It used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number? You know the answer already. The tingle in your index finger gave it away. Those are my confirmed kills, all 3 of them. That's right, Lieutenant says, gauging your reaction. How did you know? Because I felt a twitch in my index finger. Ah, right. Sometimes the brain's able to preserve certain responses even when conscious memory has been, let's say, misplaced. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. It's obvious the Lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers, but it seems that you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So you have that to be thankful for. He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent. Have you ever killed anyone, Kim? Yes, he says, declining to elaborate. How did you handle the strain? Everyone has their own method of coping, some more effective or self-destructive than others. He gives you a meaningful look. Personally, I find it helps to keep a few hobbies. Like what? Oh, this and that. Let's not get into them now. Maybe I should find a hobby. Why not historical reenactment? You've already got that turn-of-the-century revolutionary hat. That's true. Maybe I should pour one out for the boys, the fallen. Lieutenant sighs. If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you. Pour one out on the ground ceremonially. Actually, I'm just going to hold on to this. Yeah, let's pour one out on the ground ceremonially. A dark pool of cheap Pilsner appears at your feet. It shimmers in the lights of the Kanema. Honourably done. You have given up some of your own blood for this. I'm sorry for killing you. The gloaming comes for all, but it came first for you. I'll make it okay with the power of rock and roll. Here's to you, honoured dead. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to say these things. Yeah, here's to you, honoured dead. Very noble of you. Are we done here? Thanks for this. Okay, let's go. Right, I'll go turn off the lights. He presses remote control on the key. You can now see your statistics in your journal page, right at the task description. People killed 3, cases solved 216, years in service 18. Nice. Good cop, bad cop 29? I don't know what that means. Honour 2. That doesn't seem very good, does it? Moralist 8. Ultra liberal 11. Fascist 4. It's lower than the others, but that still seems quite high. Communist 10. Superstar Cop 7. Apocalypse Cop 0. Sorry Cop 7 and Boring Cop 7. Yeah, so Apocalypse Cop must be all the extreme answers. I'm not really answering anything extremely. Check Ireland. That's gonna annoy me. I think we're just gonna have to carry on the game and hope that we get to the island. I'm guessing that's the island up there. But how does one get there? That's the question. It's got to be through there, isn't it? It has to be. I can't think of any other way. It's either through there or we get on the boat. And there's been no opportunity to get on the boat yet, even though that boat is now down there. But I don't know. We've exhausted all her dialogue. Who knows? Who knows? Yep. So I think we go to bed, and then I don't think there's anything else really to do except carry the story on now. Well, there are things to do. There's checks and balances, but...
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well, bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude. About my bill for tonight. Got the 20 real? Yeah. Good, you got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow. You know, there might be other places to sleep on this coast. You'll find one eventually. We've found a few places we can sleep, but I like the whirling. All my friends are here. I still want to know what's behind that door. See you in the morning. Aye, see you in the morning, Kim. Let's see what sleep brings tonight. Oh, I'm going to put the torch away because it freaks me out that we wake up with a torch in his hand. That's me why it's just weird. Go to sleep. The room behind your closed eyelids is familiar now. The only home you've ever known. Its darkness gathers. The last thing you hear is the wind blowing in through the broken window. Then something comes, a kind of sleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes. Then, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Great, this is going to be really chill.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
I don't care, that doesn't scare me.
Hear that? You are naive to think he's afraid of his bloodied hands. Soul brother. Oh no. I see inside his amygdala and his hippocampus. The thing he's really scared of.
Running out of cheese, really?
Is much, much worse than that.
Yeah, what is
Don't
it?
tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function, to keep you from it. God damn it, what is it? Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream, the worst of them all.
The last dream?
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
And the air will smell of apricots.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church. Huh. Maybe you shouldn't have seen the stained glass window in the church. What's that got to do with it? bottle of sandwiches. We did all the mirror stuff now, didn't we? Pull on the fan. I don't think that's a good idea. Should we go see... Yeah, should we go see Clasia without Kim? See if there's any different conversation options.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Let's go over her story again. Okay, she puts a coffee mug on the table. What did you do to her? Yeah, no, I'm not bothered about that. What happened here the night he died? We were there, she points to the window. The silhouette of the bed is visible. Together, in bed I mean. Tell me exactly what happened. Okay, she takes a deep breath. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him, she breathes out, a moment's silence. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could... Great pain moved through it. I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. You don't have to continue, you don't want to. No, I want to go on, let's get this done. Alright, tell me as much as you're comfortable with. He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell onto the floor. There, she points through the window. He only had his boots on and bit the pillow not to scream, then ran downstairs. There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides, then she continues. I waited for the second shot to come, for me. I thought there would be one. It never came. She's forgotten about a cigarette. Okay. Okay. Just nod. There are a few questions I have to ask for my report. Sure. She immediately lights another one. What time was this? 11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight. Were you inebriated? Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking. Wait, Titan said she was going in a jar off much more than usual. It doesn't matter, better not to mention it. Of course, keep your eyes open for the killer instead. Did you hear or see the shooter at any point? No. What did you do then? Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there. Did you kill Lily? What? She gathers the last vestiges of her strength. Why would I put myself through this? Insanity? Get myself cornered like this? There's a silence. The wind picks up. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that, but I would never hurt him. All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Switch, okay. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun somewhere lying around, close to hand. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out when they're obviously just stabbed in the dark. It's okay if you did it in self-defense. I did not kill him to defend myself from rape, she says. I told you before, that wasn't what happened. True, it is true. Couple more questions. it doesn't seem like there's a motive, or at least a strong one. But I just can't think who else it could be. Except us. We're the person who can't remember anything of that night. We're the only person who has no knowledge of anything that happened, even though we were supposedly in a room, in a building right next to where it happened. Morning, Kim. I don't think the Hardy Boys did it, because their story kind of checks out. The fact that they staged the hanging afterwards, they took advantage. That's the kind of people that they are. They wouldn't create a situation, but they would take advantage of a situation for sure, to forward their needs. Don't think we can get anything else out of Kuno.
Kuno saw your wheel backhand! Sweet graffito action, pig! Kuno likes that delinquent shit!
Ah, maybe we can get something more out of Kuno. Pop badge of the bone, Kuno, right onto the car. Yeah. Kuno's pies, you're just shit at life, he says without malice. Now what's your case with Kuno? No, we don't have any skill points to put into empathy. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we know Kuno doesn't care. I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy boy, the one with his front teeth missing. Yeah. Could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. A heavy one. 200. So we've got more options now that we've met the Hardy Boys. That's interesting. He could have been an extremely obese person. The fat guy from the mess hall isn't that obese. He's more like a farm boy. Definitely not 250 kilograms on his own. You're right. The fat guy from the booth was carrying the victim. Probably yes. This would also fit with the victim being dead from a previous gunshot wound. They had to carry him because he could no longer walk. We're liking this, the pieces fit. An aberration, one soul is smoother than the other, interesting. Let's name it the odd soul. I won't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy boy. I wonder who he is. That one's easy, way too easy, it's a driver. A driver would wear down the right shoe before the left, the accelerator is on the right, and remember the abandoned lorry cabin that we found. With a piece of sandpaper glued to the throttle, Kim adjusts his glasses as his eyes light up with excitement. Which means that the missing lady driver was also present at the lynching. That's it, she's the odd soul. There's no denying it, Ruby really is running a complex operation out of a lorry. She is. Now we have concrete evidence binding everything together. We should ask Titus about this. So our odd soul wasn't in the back of the whirling. I don't know, he inspects this odd soul more closely. They're about the same size, not the same boot, but they could be the same person. So no horizontal boot prints. Whoever walked in the Whirling's pinball workshop didn't walk here. No, these prints are pretty standard. The ones in the dust looked custom, or maybe they're just a foreign design. It's a boot print, whatever the case. How old do you think these tracks are? A week maybe? 7 days? Okay, as I said, I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revocol, 7 days below freezing. The day before his hanging was the last warm day. Correct again. Okay. What do you think happened here? What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. And then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching. Yep. But as we know, the victim had a bullet in his head. A more precise way to put it is, it was made to look like a lynching. We've been purposefully misled by these tracks, yeah. We've been through all of it. I didn't see another check there to do. I don't know. There's maybe something else we could have done. So we need to talk to Titus about what we've just seen there. I was just going to go around a few other...
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want?
How do we do that? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. Right, let me just hit a save. Because I'm thinking... It does seem... If this is just an all-out threat,
The
then...
Copper-nado is back.
Then I'll load...
What do you want?
Load the game again without having asked the question, but... If this gives us... this could give us something more. So I talked to Joyce, the Mercury Hound. His friends are coming for you. Yeah, he doesn't seem worried. By friends you mean your squad mates from Crenel. Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma. There's snickering in the room. Some of the men put their beers down. Nervous, snickering, there's a rush of adrenaline present. Yes, they're forming some kind of tribunal and they're coming for you. This is what happens if you take the law in your own hands. Other people will start doing it too. Let them come, Blondie yells across the cafeteria. The Hardy boys are right, can hear. You heard the man. Right here, he points to the ground. We're armed, we got the whole district behind us. And Glenn is fucking crazy. Yeah, well-oiled murder machine. He punches Blondie on the shoulder. You know that single Saray's giant hornet can kill 40 bees a minute? This Crenel is bad news, you know that, right? The mercenaries are armed with automatic weapons. Joe said they've gone rogue, nobody is controlling them. Big fucking surprise, he mutters. They hire psycho scum, arm them to the teeth and let them loose in the city. What do you think is going to happen? They're armed with automatic weapons. We got weapons of our own. He cracks open his vest to give you a glimpse of his holster. We got Ister 50s, Zeeligers. Glenn's got a knock cannon at home. Will they pierce ceramic armour? I guess we're going to see, aren't we? That was an unsure phrasing. For your sake, I hope you're right. Right about what? He looks at you defiantly. That a 50 caliber bullet goes through shit. Yeah, I am. This Crenel is bad news. You know that, right? Pfft, a spray of beer. So are the local gangs. The fucking Barmy Army and the Madra scum. You've been out there, seen any around? Yeah, where are they now, huh? He points south. Sent back to Madra in airtight cargo crate. These people are trained military professionals with decades of combat experience. They're not a gang or a Barmy Army. No, they're not. They're uncoordinated and drunk. We know more about them than you think. Do you know that single... Yeah, okay. The kid that's supposed to mean? You're the bees there, no, nothing. Goddamn right it's nothing. This isn't a fucking terrarium, this is Martinez. He's really trying to salvage something out of him. Okay. What do you mean, okay? He just jerks forward a bit. I don't want to give him false confidence. It does sound like these guys are serious. But then I don't want to insult them either. I'm not going to be on either of their side. I'm with the law. So let's say... yeah, let's do that. Goddamn right we do, he nods. We've done it before, ain't that right, fellas? Yeah, we have. Battle-hardened urban soldiers, man. We got the guns and the reserves. Yeah, we got the reserves, he nods nervously. We can call in reinforcements. I mean, think about it, really. Who can we arrest? There's one person. Oh yeah, interesting. In fact, this chap here
Make way for the master poet.
is the guitarist in a little known metal band called Periphery. Like the, you know, the voices I mentioned in a previous episode. Like, you know, your limbic system and the ancient reptilian brain. They're done by a guy and from another metal band. So they're by Mike from Sixth, which are an insane British metal band that are really, really cool. And Periphery are an insane American like metal gent bands that are really, really cool as well. Both amazing bands. Two of my favourite bands who, before I started playing this game, I had no idea who had anything to do with it. In fact, actually, I wouldn't say Sixth are one of my favourite bands, but I really enjoy a lot of the music, but I won't go as far as saying they're one of my favourite bands. But yeah, so this is guitarist from Periphery. Man, I want to hear him say something. No, say something, man.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
I can hear it now. I couldn't. I was trying to picture it when someone told me earlier on today, and I couldn't picture it. But now that I hear it, yeah, no, it's because I've seen him do some like guitar playthroughs of certain tracks and stuff. There was something we could ask her as well.
No, man. You caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather gives me away. You gotta entertain me with your questions.
I still don't really understand this whole Bordero Gabriel Buenguero thing. Of course not. To truly understand the Bordero, you need to listen to On the Western Plain. Boyadero, Boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk. People like Manana at the gates have turned it into an ideology of sorts. Okay, what's that? It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a Darien Bordero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the Western Plain. I'm guessing that doesn't happen. Of course not. The Bordero returns from the Western Plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Marguerite, she pleads with him to give up his ride and settle down. In the background, you hear the orchestra swell as the screen fills with the maiden's imploring eyes. I think I see where this is going. So the Bordero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte, and he rides off because the Western Plain is calling to him. That's not where I thought that was going. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You have to understand, a true Bordero needs a whole horizon to himself. He can't be tied down by a man or a woman. His beloved was selfish. She didn't know what it meant to have a Bordero. Where's the mega lock thing and the pry? No, not the pry bar. The cutters. Just equip them before we go in. Search the truck again. Open the door. I'm just going through every option because it said there's a physical check we can retry. But I seem to remember doing this before. It doesn't seem we've done this now. So Ruby really is running a complex operation. At least we can now ask Titus some concrete questions about it. Can we? So more about Ruby and then... Okay. Where does the road lead? Fold up on the second map. What is that sound? The rattle of motor carriages. Okay, return the papers under the seat. Fold the newspaper, pick up the note. Okay. So we go back and speak to Titus, then speak to Titus about Ruby, and then I think we'll call it for today. It's pretty late. I need to catch some Z's for tomorrow, and then can't think of much else that we can do. I'll quickly, when we start again tomorrow, I'll run through the physical checks that we can redo.
The Copper-NATO is back. What do you want?
What's she scared of? What did she tell you about? Do you have any idea where she went? Have you looked for her? Can you tell me where in the coast? Do you know what she's doing with Ulan frequencies? Building an emitter. Me personally. Yes, you the cop. I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop. Sure, I normally says without smiling. You know, and if I saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing around supply, but he measures you up. No, I'm not so sure. Else did Ruby tell you about me? And that you won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jan Rock, that you're a human can opener. Okay. Any clues on where she went? So we've asked all these questions before, it's not like we're getting any more options. Who's doing stuff in all here now?
The Copper-NATO is back. What do you want?
Scan the room. Oh, here we go. Ruby's missing, obviously. Exactly, but none of this is news to you. You stood there for about 4 seconds not saying anything. Time to move on. Yeah. I don't know what else we can... What else we can do? We've done the vast majority of the of what's in our tasks, though, haven't we? Look for Ruby on the coast. Determine where the shot came from. Goddamn island. We can't get the boots. We go to the map. It might be worth going and getting those clothes. I'll just do that because I'll forget to do that tomorrow. You know, from the salesman, they just might have some bonuses that would be useful.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Okay, so inspect the sneakers. The sneakers on the speakers. Only 50 real. Wow. +1 reaction speed, +1 hand-eye coordination. Ah, that's good though. 50 real. That's like all this money. Man. I mean, if worse comes to worse, we can sleep somewhere else. Let's just see what else is there.
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes. Keep saving that economy.
+1 composure, -1 shivers. It's not that great. Those two though are things that I want to level up anyway, because like I was saying before, it seems like they always happen in important conversations.
The shine on those sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Oh no! What did I just buy? Oh, that was a misclick. +1 perception. I bet these look hilarious. Oh my days. Oh, it takes the hat as well? Oh no, it is the hat. Yeah, that was a bad misclick. Let's load up the previous save. Wait, is this before we spoke to Titus? Yeah, okay, whatever. We didn't get anything new out of those conversations anyway. I think we take the sneakers. I think it's worth it for +1 in both of those. Even though we will not have enough money to spend another night in Whirling, but there are other places to sleep. You spec this sneakers. So this, what? Can we do anything with the speakers? 50 cents. Yeah, just take it with the 50 cents. I wonder if we can sell them for a profit. Let's get them 6 trainers on. Fallen Ultras, boom. So we got some pretty good reaction speed and hand-eye coordination now, because we leveled up once as well for each of them. Nice. Tight. So yeah, I wonder if we can sell those speakers for a profit. Now this here, what the old out the old pawn shop. And let's have a look at his inventory as well. We could probably sell some junk. Wasn't that evidence, the folded library card? Yeah, I think we do sell them for, because we bought them for 50 cents. And it said...
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Do you have any recordings of the Col de Marma Dacre? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were interested in ultrasonic sounds. I've been really into all kinds of art lately, experimental things, you know. That sounds cool. Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording it. And did you ever find it? We thought we did. Got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, he chuckles. Cut them up, combined them into the symphonia called... Can I listen to it? Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life, none at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for. Do we really have time for this? Spin that bird song. He dusts off a case, then takes out the tape and places it on the tape player. His recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific, just left a recording device there one morning. Keep in mind I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange. Okay. It's an illusion, your breathing is just as it is, okay? Seabirds, most likely gulls and such. Seagulls? And skewers, but shh! He raises a pointed finger and inclines his head towards the speakers. A new high-pitched shivering sound. That's it, the signal in the noise, the thin whisper. Low range of sound is easier to handle with the focal point, but still troubling. He switches off the tape player. You know, now that I've listened to it on these speakers, it's not the call de mama dakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect. Okay. I've got something to sell. Like to sell. No, I wouldn't like to sell my clothes. Pawn menu, there we go. How come we've got that? I'll keep hold of it for now. It does seem like an important item. The antique rifle. Yeah. Postcard, yep. Figurine set. The Headless Rider. Where did we get that as well? Can't remember where we got that from. Might keep all of that. Sell speakers. Don't want to sell the dice. That's less than what we paid for them. Nah, the dice are important to us. What's the new things? I don't know what the new things are in the journal, but there you go. Okay. Cool. Now we do have enough to stay in the Whirling for one more night. So yeah, like I said, I think we'll call it there. It's probably way past my bedtime, man. And then, yeah, cool beans. We'll pick this up. There'll be more of this soon because I'm super into the story and I really want to know what happens. So thanks again for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the video and the mystery, and I hope you was excited to see whatever's going to come next. Like I say from the other video that I did the other day, I do know some of what's coming, but not a lot. I didn't get to the end of the game or anything. It was maybe about 20 minutes or so that just I really wasn't happy with the outcome, and I thought we could do more before we did it. So you'll find that out in the next episode anyway. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you in the next step. Alright, bye.